Hi everyone, Wander here. I'm going to be doing a small card review for Fracture in Alterac Valley before the expansion actually launches. So I have my thoughts pre-recorded so I can point to them like a couple months and say, hey, look how smart I was. I knew how this whole thing was going to go. Because of course we all know I'm going to be completely right about everything. So let's start. I don't want to drag this out that much. Let me put some music in the background here real quick. Okay, there we go. Now, Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter gets mainly two packages, token packages, a token package and a big demon package. I'm mildly excited for both, but I'm more excited about the token one because they get this card, Battleworn Vanguard. I don't know the names of the cards, okay? This card is broken. This card is absolutely the nuts. It's a 2 mana 4/4 if your hero attacks, which means if you equip a weapon on turn 1, this is a 2 mana 4/4 on curve that the opponent actually has to remove or the game is basically over. This card alone is the reason why I think Dread Prison Glaive it's going to see play, simply because it's a 1 mana weapon. It's going to activate the Battle Worm. You pair them with Kurtrus Demon Render. These are 3 free attacks for your Kurtrus, so their demons are already 4/4 when you play them, so it's like the Shaman Galakron. It's like the medium version of the Shaman Galakron for 1 less mana. I think that's pretty good. On top of that, you of course have the Ursul Giant, which is the big payoff of the deck. Which 30 mana sounds like a lot. It's absolutely not. This card is going to be coming down on turns 5 and 6 every single time. I guarantee you, I promise. This card seems like it's going to take a long time to discount. It's not. It's not. This thing alone that's 3 bodies already. And then you have things like the 3 mana summon 3 rushes. Demon Hunter can summon a lot of tokens, both in standard and wild. I don't see how token Demon Hunter is not seen play with all these really strong cards it's getting. Of course, you have the cute OTK with after you play Kurtrus, you get the upgraded hero power that makes your hero power give you +2 attack instead of 1, and it refreshes whenever a friendly minion attacks. So you have the Fellfire, I think it's called the minion, the 2 mana 2/3, it's dual class with Hunter. That makes your hero power cost 1 less. So you play this, you play the other thingy, your hero power costs 0, and you just play expendable performers. Trade them all away, and you get like 20 plus attack to kill the enemy hero. Sounds funny, sounds a bit cute, but I actually think it's real, mainly because you're of course running Kurtrus in your Token Demon Hunter in either way, and you're also running Expendable Performance in a Token Demon Hunter. They make Ursul Giant 0 by themselves, so you're running both of them either way, and Fellfire, the Fellfire thingy, the 2 mana 2/3, it's a good card, just in general. 2 mana 2/3 give your hero +1 attack. That seems decent, plus it's an extra attack for the Kurtrus if you had to play it before, and also triggers this Battleborn Vanguard. I think it's real. I think Token Demon Hunter in standard could be like tier 2, somewhere around tier 2. In wild, I think you actually try to play Token Demon Hunter as well. Not even the odd version, which might be also a deck, but I think you play without the odd. I think you played regular Token Demon Hunter in wild, and it might be a bit too slow, but I don't know. In wild you have Mana Burn, which is an amazing card versus combo decks, so I can kind of see it. Not too much, but in wild I'm a bit more dubious. I'm not sure in wild, but in standard you definitely play this. For the big Demon Hunter side of things, I'm not sure about Carrie. I think she's bait. It's kind of like Shadow Essence for Priest, but the minions are 6/6s. But in Priest you don't care about the stats. You care about them dying so you can rest them over and over. In Demon Hunter you're not trying to do that. Also Pit Commander and the 8 mana 8 that makes spells cost more. Those are pretty good hits. The Inquisitor is a bit meh, but not that bad really. So I think you can try. Sigil of Reckoning is broken. People keep comparing it to School of the Manari, and I understand that, and say, oh, School of the Manari was better, so this card is trash. No, School of the Manari was better because School of the Manari is one of the most broken cards of all time. Sigil of Reckoning is an amazing card for Big Demon Hunter, and it's the reason why the deck would work. If the deck were to work, it'd be exactly because of Sigil. Amazing card. You absolutely want to run both copies of this in your Big Demon Hunter, and it's going to be great in Standard. In Wild, you're not doing that. Warden of Chains, I've seen people saying that it's not worth it, and I honestly don't understand why. 4 mana 3/8 taunt, it's pretty damn good. Like, how does a taunt druid, a token aggressive druid, respond to this? You just play this, and they have to trade their whole board, and they're sad, and you're happy. End of story. I don't know. I think both archetypes are going to be decent, but I'm more excited about the token one than the big stuff. By the way, this card, one of the sleepers of the set. Right, mark my words, this card is a sleeper. This is trash, and this might see play in Token Demon Hunter, but I'm not sure. I'm leaning towards no, but maybe. I'm not writing it down completely. For Druid, this is going to be a lot faster. Druid is basically getting one archetype alone, and that's the Beast Druid. Okay, so let's start. This card, 2 mana draw 1, no thank you. 2 mana 2/3, give all your friendly characters +1 attack this turn. This sounds absolutely busted. This is most likely than not getting nerfed. This is most likely than not getting down to a 2/2. Again, might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure about it. This card is so bad. God dang it, this card is bad. This card is really, really bad. I don't know if Beast Druid is good enough for you to include a 4 mana 4/4. The stealth is not relevant, and summoning a 2/2 wolf with stealth as a death rattle is okay, but and yes, I see the synergy with this, with the new corridor creeper, but I'm not sold on this one. This, of course, is the reason to play the whole beast archetypes in general, because it's a 0 mana 4/5 with taunt. That sounds pretty good. This, however, this card is an absolutely sleeper. This card is broken. 3 mana 6/6 with stealth. That's amazing. Synergizes incredibly well with Arbora because the wolf will have stealth permanently. If you don't attack with them, they're not gonna lose it. So, great card. Heart of the Wild. A bit underrated in my opinion. Give a minion +2/+2, then give your beast +1/+1. If you target a beast with the first +2/+2, it also gets an extra +1/+1, so keep that in mind. I think this card is going to be running this beast style druid. I don't know how good it will be. I'm not sure I see it being better than the taunt druid that we're currently seeing in standard, but you can try. I'm not talking about wild because none of these exist in wild, okay? These are not cards in wild. In wild, druid gets exactly one card, and that card is Guff. I've seen some people say something like, hey, why would you run Guff when you have Celestial Alignment? And those people are seeing it wrong. You're not running Guff over Celestial Alignment, you're running Guff alongside Celestial Alignment, because Guff is broken. This mana crystal you get, it's not an empty mana crystal. So after Celestial Alignment, Guff is basically 1 mana, draw a card, get 5 armor, upgrade your hero power from the stupid druid that does absolutely nothing to an absolutely amazing one. And pre Celestial Alignment, it's 5 mana, get 5 armor, draw a card, ramp. So it's basically 5 mana, wild growth plus shield block. That sounds pretty fucking amazing. This sets your maximum mana to 20, is cute, but it's irrelevant. Guff, it's really good. People are sleeping on it. Talking about sleeping on, let's talk about a card people are not sleeping on. Wing Commander Malverick. This card is bad. This card is really bad. People are talking about this card like it's the next best thing ever. Honorable Kill is a hard keyword to achieve. It's hard. At most you are getting maybe 1/2 Wyvern with this. I'm assuming you're running this in an aggressive style druid, and if you are doing that, you're running a 4 mana 2/5 with Rush that sometimes has an upside, but even those times, it's not that great. And if you do this, you are cutting Drekthar, and when we get to Drekthar, you see that I don't think cutting Drekthar is that good of an idea. These cards are cute, but they are not going to see play. So, pretty meh expansion for Druid, but Guff alone carries it. And the Beast that stuff for Standard is good. My thoughts about Guff apply to both Standard and Wild, by the way. Hunter gets a couple interesting cards, mainly Ice Trap. I think this goes straight into any Secret Hunter ever, both in Standard and Wild. Even Hunter loves this. I also think even Hunter loves Spring the Trap in Wild. Deal 3 cast a Secret, Honorable Kill cast 2. I think this is pretty decent in Wild. In Standard as well too. Tavish, you're definitely running him, right? You're gonna run Tavish in your Secret Hunters. I don't know about even Hunter in Wild though. Maybe? I mean, if you were to run a hero card for even Hunter, it's definitely Tavish is much better than Rexar. But I'm not sure if... Animal Companion is a really broken card. Yeah, you're running it. You're running it in even Hunter. I made up my mind. 2 mana draw 3 seems pretty good. Not much else I can say. 2 mana draw 3 seems pretty good. Both even Hunter likes it, and especially in Standard, you absolutely love this card. The weapon for Face Hunter, I think it's good. I think it's a bit underrated as well, because a lot of stuff has 2 health, and then a lot of stuff also has 3 health. So you can scale this to 4 attack pretty easily, I wanna say. So yeah, I like this weapon. This card, I honestly don't understand why this card exists, but here we are. All these, if you control a secret, do X, they have never been good, and I don't think this is the one that is going to be. So yeah, I'm not too sold on Run Tamer. Here, Revive Pet is a card that's waiting to be broken. I don't think it's broken just yet, but someone will find a dumb combo with it and send 7 Green Crashes to my face. And I'm kinda looking forward for it. Wing Commander Inchman, it's an amazing card, you get it, and it adds 400 dust to your collection. Such value. No, this card is bad. This card is really bad. Tavish costs 3 and it does the same thing, and it's not simple. You're not playing this. For Mage, Amplified Snow Flurry. This card is really broken. Like 2 mana 2/3, your next hero power costs 0 and it freezes the target. That's overall solid. Why would you not want to run this in any kind of slow mage? Of course, the pink mage support is here. Even mage in Wild might wanna try it. Even some dedicated hero power mage can play a bit with it. It can also stall a bit for like LPG mage. I just don't see how this card is not in play. In Standard, of course, you don't want it in spell mage, but maybe you wanna think outside the box a bit and try it. Arcane Brilliance. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this, and this, so all the big spell mage support, they're all garbage. None of them is going to see any play whatsoever. Don't grasp him while you may wanna try him in LPG mage, mainly because he's an 8 mana ice block. That sounds crazy to some of you that might not play Wild, but Ice Block is a really good card. I think you're happy paying 8 mana for it. It might break your Luna turns, but I think it's worth a try. If you were to run a hero card, he's definitely better than both Jane and Reno. So give it a try. Shivering Sorcerers. 1 mana 2/2, battle cry, reduce the cost of the highest cost spell in your hand by 1. Wow. 1 mana 2/2 with upside. Man, Hearthstone has really come a long way. I don't know about standard, mainly because I don't see a deck for it, because big spellmate is not a thing. It's just not. In wild, I think you try this in secret mates because it looks solid there. It's another good one drop for secret mates, which is what they always wanted. It's not that crazy though. Maybe. I'm not too sold on the card, but the potential is definitely there. It's a strong standalone card, it just doesn't have a home. Siphon Mana, on the other hand, is broken. 2 mana deal 2 damage, honorable kill, reduce the cost of spells in your hand by 1. The card is dumb. APM Mage in Wild loves this. Mosagi Mage in both Standard and Wild loves this. Any sort of spell, quest mage in Standard also loves this. Yeah, this card is going to see a lot of play for mage. Definitely the big card for mage this expansion. And it's a common. Paladin. I love the big Paladin support because I think it's not that bad of a deck actually. In Wild at least. You have Duel. Duel is amazing. Commencement I think is the call, the 7 mana dual class with warrior that summons a minion from your deck and gives it shield and taunt. It's not as good as duel, but it's also pretty decent. So this, and this they all see play in that big dual paladin deck. If that deck sees any play, these cards will see play in it. If they don't, then if the deck doesn't see play, then these cards don't see play either. Protect the Innocent is, I think, too slow. 5 mana, 5/5 with Taunt. It's trash, so you need the healing for this to be relevant, but you can heal if you're playing this on 5, so you need to be a turn higher than 5, of to have like a True Silver Champion equipped. I don't want to run True Silver Champion in my Paladin deck, so I'm not seeing it. Hold the Bridge is an amazing buff. It's just great. Libram Paladin, Hand Buff Paladin, even Big Paladin. I think this card is amazing. You're running it everywhere. Dumbledore Bridge. I'm not sold on this one. 4 mana do nothing seems bad. Even if you wanna try some cute stuff with like the imps and the wisps, I'm still not sold on it. I think it's way too slow. The legendary, the Sidon is definitely good in hand buff, exactly in hand buff, but I don't think it changes anything. You just slot it there because it's a good card. End of story. No, nothing too crazy about it. A Stoneheart Vindicator, I think it's a really decent card. I think some people are overrating how good this is, but targeted draw plus being able to play the spell immediately, it's solid. It's definitely solid. I wouldn't say it's a bad card. I think people are losing their minds a bit too much over this, but it's good. It's definitely good. It's seen playing Libram Paladin, both standard and wild. I don't know about hand buff, but definitely in Libram. I'm talking about scene play. Lightforge Carriel. I could make a pretty decent argument that Lightforge Carriel is a top 3 hero cards of all time. This card seems so nuts, especially in standard. Stops all TK decks on their tracks, at least most of them. Not Demon Hunter because they can do like well over 100 damage with the right combo. But your Paladin, you're pressuring them a lot. They have to waste the removal. I think Carriel is a game changer. I think the movable object, of course, halves all damage you take. Garrote Rogue doesn't have any way to handle you. Questline Warlock already has some problems handling Paladin, and with this, the Tamsin win condition is not really there anymore, as it would take way too long. I think Carriel is amazing, and instantly, either I get this card or I'm crafting it. There is no in between. I wanna try this. I wanna try Carriel. My favorite hero card of the expansion, probably. Paladin gets some interesting card, but again, Carriel alone makes this a good expansion for Paladin. Here in Priestland we have Bless, which goes straight into Miracle Priest in Standard. and Inner Fire Priest in Wild. Not much out of this. The card is good. The card definitely going to see play there, but not much. This card does not exist. Gift of the Narrow is one of the most underrated cards in the whole expansion. 1 mana, heal for 3, draw a card. If any other still damage, draw a card. Yeah, you always draw a card. Because all characters include both heroes. So if either your opponent or you are below 27, this is always drawing a card. And your priest, you're only going to be taking some damage. And if people are not hitting you in the face just so you can't draw off of this, you're also winning. So, amazing card. Both standard and wild. It's going to see play. This card does not exist. This card does not exist. This card maybe exists in Inner Fire Priest in wild. In standard, actually you might want to try this in Miracle Priest. I'm not too sold, but you can try. A Spirit Guy for some Rest Priest in standard. I can see it. 5 mana, taunt, 5/5, draw 2. Pretty solid. This is basically a golem from Kazakus, right? It's a 5 mana 5/5 with taunt that draws 2. It's a death rattle instead of a battle cry, but it's comparable to a Kazakus golem, guys. And we are making some really good deck building gymnastics to add Kazakus to our deck, and play a 4 mana 3/3 just to get a card pretty similar to this. I think this card is really, really strong. This card does not exist. And then this Disciple. This card is underrated in my opinion, because this stops aggro on its tracks. You play this and aggro cry. End of story. And then Cyrella. At first I wasn't too sold on Cyrella, but after I actually took a closer look at it, Cyrella's pretty damn good. Cyrella the Devout. This card is really strong actually. It's been confirmed that she works right with the Undying Disciple. So you play Cyrella and she deals the 3 damage AoE that she's supposed to. So yeah, I'm kind of eating my own words here, but Cyrella's good. I like her. The hero power is a win condition for this kind of res low priest, which I love. Yeah, I really, really like her. Actually, I'm going to be playing some priest this expansion. Yak. Rogue. I love Rogue this expansion. I'm so hyped about Rogue. It's one of the classes that I want to play the most. Not because of you, not because of this 5 mana 5/5 cast Renounce Darkness. Of course, this is a meme card, and it shows that it's a meme card. For those of you who like to meme around, you can have some fun with it. It's a shame that it doesn't synergize with Tess, but here we are. Ah, by the way, before I forgot, no, you're not running either of these 3 cards in Big Priest in Wild. These are bad cards in Wild. Big Priest, you add Gift of the Narrow, and that's all you're getting. Back to Rogue. Cold Tooth Yeti. I think this card is underrated. I think you're running this in Tempo Rogue, in like maybe even in Quest Rogue. A couple of the last slots are a bit clunky, and in Wild you are probably running this in Edwin Rogue, right? At least you're considering it. It's a 3 mana 4/5. That's really good. Maybe I'm copying a bit, but I think this card is decent. This does not exist. Double Agent, and we're going to talk about these two together because these are the actually good burglar cards that Rogue is getting. Double Agent and Wild Paw Null. They function pretty similarly, as if you're holding a card from another class, you summon 3 mana 6s in stats, and 5 mana Rush 4/5 gets discounted the more you add cards from another class to your hand. Okay, I'm seeing some Maestra of the Masquerade synergy here. You start as another class, so you can pass turn 1 and turn 2, coin Double Agent, and you just played 6 in stats on turn 2. That sounds really broken. And if you are Maestra, the more cards you keep drawing at the start of the game, the more the Will Pawn Null will get discounted because you are, say, a shaman and you're drawing rogue cards. So seems decent. I think it's a meme, to be honest, but it's a fun meme. And in Wild, I don't think Tempo Burglar Rogue is that far off of a real deck. so keep an eye out for that. The Lobotomizer does not exist. This is one of the worst epic cards in the whole expansion, and I'll be extremely surprised if this is any play. For the Death Rattle Rogue, a Snowfall Graveyard, I think it's a bit too cute. Although your Death Rattles trigger twice, it's some really strong text to put. I'm not sold, I don't think you're playing this. Reckonings, I'm not even gonna, I don't know how you read that word, I'm gonna be honest. Discover a Death Rattle minion from another class, it costs 2 less. This on 2 into a 5 mana Death Rattle minion on 3 seems good. But other than that, what are you doing with this? I'm not sold, I don't think this card is any good. Maybe it's decent. But the thing is, if you're playing Death Rattle Rogue, you might want for Second Lieutenant. I can see this one of the three, if this is the one I'm the most hyped about. But if you're playing Death Rattle Rogue, you're looking to do like turn 1, prep, sketch information, draw the new Korak, the 4 mana 3/5 that gets summons itself over and over, and summon that in turn 1. That's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to do anything cute with this, and this is not consistent enough. I'm not sure. It doesn't even matter because here's Shadowcrafter Scuffs, the best hero card in the set and of all time. And it's not even close. 7 mana, cast Banish, summon 2 for 2 shadows with stealth, and your hero powers becomes pre-nerf Innervate. How is this card 7 mana again? Yeah, the Rogue could literally get nothing, could get River Croc 9 times, and Scabs, and I would still argue that it's a top 3 of this, that is getting one of the 3 strongest sets in the whole expansion just because of Scabs alone. This card is broken, this card is insane, and this card is going to go to 8 mana. I'm recording this the 6th of December 2021. I'm going to say before the year ends, this card is going to cost 8 mana, or have the text change or something. Yeah, Scabs, amazing, absolutely done. Shaman is definitely my favorite card class for this expansion. I'm going to go pretty quickly over it though, because most of the cards are pretty similar in the Frost theme. Glacier, I think this is the win condition for Frost for free Shaman, so let's start with the good cards. And speaking of good cards, Glaciate is not one of them. You're not running this, I don't care which deck you're running, you're not using this card. Slitbreaker, however, you are running. 2 mana 3/2 Battlecry, add Wind Chill into your hand. What's Wind Chill? This 1 mana, freeze a minion, draw a card. I can make an argument that this card could see play at 2. Probably not, but you would consider it. You'd consider it at 2, you'd say, maybe I want to. It costs half. It costs... Oh my god, I don't even know how to speak anymore. This card is getting into my brain. This card costs 1 mana. This is broken, and you have 4 of them in your deck. You're naturally running 2, and a 2 mana 3/2 elemental is adding you another one. With a battle cry, by the way, just in case you want to do some Volner damn stuff. This goes into elemental shaman instantly, and this probably does as well because it's just that good. A Snowfall Guardian, if the meta becomes aggro-centered with a lot of board-centric strategies such as Aggro Druid, this is going to see play because 5 mana, say 7/7 cast Frost Nova. That's absolutely amazing. Snowball Fight, I think it's overrated. I don't think this card is that good. I think this card is pretty meh actually because it's clunky in that it's probably not going to freeze the whole board most of the time. So I'm not too sold on this one. But Frostbite I'm sold on. In 2 mana, deal 3, honorable kill. Your opponent's next spell costs 2 more. And this is not next turn, this is permanent. They have to pay these tax. So this card is super sick in standard. In wild, I do still think that Slitbreaker and Wind Chill, you're playing both of them, and maybe you even step away from Primal Dungeoneer. I'm not sure. Primal Dungeoneer is such a good card, dude. In Wild, I don't think you're running Frostbite, mainly because the decks that use spells, they don't run minions. They don't run that many minions, so it's not that useful. And the decks that run a lot of minions, like Parrot Warrior, they don't run spells. So I don't see this in Wild. In Standard, probably. In Wild, you're definitely running this and this, especially this one. You maybe even not want to run Wind Chill just because Sleet Breaker gives you the Wind Chill and it doesn't get in the way of your Primal Engineer. Maybe. Cheat is noble. I'm not sold in Wild. In Standard, you could probably play him. Baron Glacier, you're playing both Standard and Wild. With the Macaw, you have a win condition, you have 3 layers of 3/4 elementals. This is basically Chef Nomi with a much easier condition to fulfill. So yeah, you're definitely running the Brucan. In Wild, you're probably not running him. In Standard, you probably are though. That's my concern. In Wild, you have Galakron. Galakron is just better, right? Yeah, I think Galakron is better than Brucan. In Standard, you're probably running Brucan though, as your late game finish, but you have Glacier as your finish. I'm not sure about Brucan in Standard though. Maybe. This card is underrated, by the way. You're running Will Paul Cavern in. I don't know about Wild, but definitely in Standard. This card in Standard is nuts. 4 mana, 9/12 in stats. Pretty good. Warlock. Warlock, we're going to be fast here. This card, it's underrated. You're running this in Egglock. Dreadlich Tamsin, I think people are overrating her a bit. It's not bad by any means, but it's not that giganuts that some people seem to be making her out of. Like, deal 3, like basically 6 mana, cast Hellfire, draw 3, shuffle 3 Rifts into your deck. She's good. She's definitely a solid, strong hero card. And it's going to see play, but she's not going to break the game. In Standard, in White, I don't even think you play her at all. Reno Lock can't play her because those Rifts get in the way of your Seth and Reno. Even Lock doesn't really want this because you get rid of your upgraded hero power and the Rifts are not good things. And even Lock already has their hand full every time, so the draw 3 is probably bad. Glare doesn't want this. Why would Glare play this? I don't think this is playing Wild, but in Standard probably. This card doesn't exist, this card does not exist, this card is absolutely amazing. 3 mana, deal 5 among all enemy minions. This is, how do you call the warrior spell? Warrior has a similar spell to this for 2 mana. This is 3, but it has Echo, but it's repeatable this turn. Echo. This card is amazing. You're running this in every control warlock ever. It scales for 6 mana. You're dealing 10 to the enemy board. That's amazing. For 3, you're dealing 5 in the early game. That's also amazing. I don't see how this card is not seen play. It's not seen play. In Standard, in Wild, you don't run this. Maybe regular Reno Log probably wants this, but of course, even Log and even Reno can run this, and Glare doesn't care. So yeah, Grave Defiler. Maybe you consider it alongside Full-Blown Evil, because this card is just so good that you want another copy of it. I'm not too sure though, because without it, it's just a 1 mana 2/1. So, this card does not exist. This card does not exist. Sacrificial Summoner. 3 mana 3/3 Battlecry. Pop your eggs. Summon something from your deck. I think Sue Warlock with Drekthar and the egg packages and this. I can see it. I can definitely see it in play. Imagine turn 2 you play the Nubian egg. Turn 3 Sacrificial Summoner, pop it, and get an Injured Blade Master from your deck. That seems amazing. Even if you get another Sacrificial Summoner, which it's some people's concern, you just played 3 mana 6/6, pop the egg. We were just talking about how Double Agent was a 3 mana 6/8, and we were hyped about it. Why wouldn't we be a Sacrificial Summoner? It's really good. Solid card. This does not exist. Tamsin. I'm not even going to try to read that word. The 4 mana Warlock spell. I think it's actually underrated. I think this card is good. Yeah, we all seen the owl meme potential, but I'm not talking about it. I'm referring more to like with Korak, you get like a super buffed Soul of the Forest, and even without it, just a Nerubian Egg Death Rattle. I think that can be really good. It's just Soul of the Forest on crack. I think this card is underrated, by the way. Definitely underrated. Sue Warlock loves it. In standard, I don't know if you. That's probably something dumb you can do with this in wild, but I'm not saying it right now. Warrior is gonna be fast. This does not exist. This has a cute OTK at the end of the game, but it's like turn 1700, and we're not getting to turn 1700 because you're getting OTK before that. So, nope. This is good. This card is really good versus aggro. In 10 armor, you're only getting 5 effectively, but in conjunction with Shield Shatter, this is 2 mana, deal 5 AoE and gain 5 armor. That sounds so good, actually. Holy fuck. So yeah, you're running this to the front, is waiting to be broken. I don't think it's broken just yet, but it's waiting to be. So I love this card. It's going to be broken at some point. Snowed in. This card is really bad. You need a damage minion and other minions to be on the board, and your rounds are getting frozen. And yeah, nah, this card is bad. You have this Glory Chaser with the Scrapsmiths, so you can give Warrior some draw. Maybe you can play like Bolster, Conditioning, Taunt Warrior in Wild. Doesn't sound good, but maybe actually, maybe I'm sleeping a bit on it. Because with to the front, this costs 1, so that's this. So you can try and do some fun stuff with them. Not too soul, but you can try. This card does not exist. And Rokara the Valorous. Valorous? Rokara. 7 mana, equip Arcanite Reaper. Yeah, I'm not seeing this. Yeah. Second expansion, second time Warrior gets the short stick in terms of hero cards. Sucks for them, but Warrior is pretty busted already. They don't need a good hero card. To be fair, that it's not just 7 mana equip Arcanite Reaper. It has some upside to it, as in you can still control the board with the new hero power that deals 2 and gains some armor, as the weapon is actually a threat to clear the enemy board and deal some cheap damage, but you're not playing 7 mana to do that. The neutrals, this is going to be real fast. This card does not exist, 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 this card is absolutely broken. This is also getting nerfed. We have already seen how strong Drakthar is. This card is nuts, it's disgusting, it should get nerfed. If any of you picked Alliance, please tell me why. Just because you like the other one for the memes, or you actually thought that Mandar was going to be stronger than Drakthar? Because I'm honestly curious. This card does not exist, this card is broken, it's going to see a lot of play in Rogue, both standard and wild, and in wild, a cute Luck definitely loves this. 0 mana 3/3, those are good. This does not exist, this has some cute synergy with like Raining Mountain, the Hunter spell, but it's not seeing play. This is decent, this is a bit underrated. I don't think it's going to see that much play, but it's underrated. Some people are gonna play this and I'm gonna kill my big legendary minion. I'm gonna get super tilted, but it's not a good card. This card is meh. I can see it in some shaman decks to draw your good free spell, your good frost spells, but I'm not too sold. 4 mana 3/5 draw a card doesn't fit that good. The owl, of course, you have the warlock spell OTK deck, and you have a priest with Cyrella to do some dumb stuff. I don't think either of those are good things, so probably not, but big meme potential. I don't think you're playing this anywhere. Maybe in Elemental Shaman you want to play a Jetty with upside. Maybe actually Elemental Shaman might want to try this. You don't play this anywhere. This card is good. I love it. It's quest deck. You play this on 1 and the quest decks cry. Other than play this on one, you can hand buff it and maybe give it even a Libram in Paladin so you get more. This card is really good. I love it. And speaking of cards that are really good, this is not. This card is trash. I'm not gonna get too into it, but anything below 5 mana is absolutely unplayable, and you need to be between 6 and 9/10 for this to be a good card, and if you do, you're playing 9/8-ish mana pile of stats. Might as well just run one. I don't even know the name. The other Diamond Legendary, the 7/7 that draws 3 and has all these keywords. Either way, yeah, I don't like you. This card does not exist. This card does not exist. Korax is a super interesting card. Death Rattle Demon Hunters loves this. Some meme rogue probably want to play with this. Maybe even Warlock can try some funny stuff with this and the new spell. I think this card has potential. This is way too broken. This card is probably too slow. Warlock in Wild might want this, like even Warlock. Just what they needed. Yet another giant. 5 mana. Turn 5 for even luck is usually their weakest turn. So having a 5 mana 8 Rush Wind Fury is decent. Sounds crazy to say that, and that 5 mana 8 Rush Wind Fury is decent, but while this is a scary place, guys, the art is absolutely amazing, but the card is not. Popsicular, this is my pick for the most slept on card in the whole expansion. This card is going to see play in the Death Rattle Priest. I'm calling it right now. People don't think so. I'm gonna say it. Popsicular is going to see play. I love it. The art is so cute. Death Rattle Priest to random enemy minions. That's a good effect. 3 mana 3/3. Not that bad of a stat line. This card is going to see play. 2 mana 2/2, add 2 1/1 Rams with Rush to your hand. It's worth noting that the Battle Rams are Beast, so Druid can use it, Hand Buff Paladin can use it, Token Demon Hunter can use it. This card has to see play somehow. Reflecto Engineer. You can make some cute stuff with this in Egg Warlock, where you play this and the eggs get 0 health, so you play them and they instantly open. It's funny. You're not playing this. You're not playing this either. Why would you play a 2 mana Bloodfin Raptor? This card, hey, it's another Shaman card. If you're holding a Frost spell, gain 5 armor. You're always going to be holding a Frost spell in Shaman, so 3 mana 3/5, gain 5 armor. Pretty damn good. Both standard and wild, by the way. Shadowwalk gaining 5 armor every single time. I like it. Spammy Arcanist, 5 mana 3/5, cast Defile. Defiles cost 2, this costs 5. I know it's neutral and you can play it in other classes, but the thing about Defile is it's benefited from spell damage and you have a lot of room to make to play with the health totals, so Defile would actually work. You can do that with this card. I think this card is overrated. This card is not seeing play. I think this card is not going to see any play whatsoever. It's worth noting that with Vandar Stormpike, this card would cost 2, so it would actually be Defile. So maybe there you have something, but Stormpike Marshal, 4 mana, but it's not 4 mana. If you took 5 or more damage on your opponent's turn, this costs 1. 1 mana 2/6. I like it. Sounds good. Are you playing this? Probably not. Because it's not good into any kind of combo deck, which sadly is what it's running both standard and wild. And well, to be fair, wild is Pirate Warrior is probably the king in wild, but I don't know, man. I'm not too hype on this card. I like the idea, like that they're trying to stop aggro, but I don't think this is the way. This card does not exist. This 4 mana 6/6 isn't even that great. This card does not exist. This card does not exist. And Vander is seeing some French play. It's not seeing good play, but it's there and the decks are not that far. So I think Vander is decent. I think it's going to see play and it's definitely a fun card to play, I would imagine. I can't play with him yet because I picked Horde. But yeah, I like him. I think we got a couple decent legendaries for free. Of course, there is no arguing. Drekthar was way more broken, but Vander is not bad. It's a fine card. I like him. So yeah, that would be my card review. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't take too long. And well, let's see how wrong I am in like a couple months. So okay, see ya.